My name is Vanessa Vanderbusch and I'm a missionary with Power to Change, and I want to tell a story about my experience on summer project as a mother. So several years ago, as a new mum, I went on a summer missions project, and my husband was leading the project, but I didn't really have a role. There were no other families on the project, and as the timetable panned out, I couldn't participate. I couldn't be there at the community times. I couldn't do the outreach times, which were quite late at night, and so that left me wondering, how can God use me? I feel like I'm trapped in this apartment. How could God use me? And so after several days, or actually probably the first week of just kind of being in despair, why am I here? What am I doing? I started to pray, God, would you just do something? Would there be one reason why I'm here on this project? So the only thing that I could really participate in with everyone else was going to church. And it's an older congregation that we partner with, but there was one young mum there who I befriended in the first week, and we had a chat in the second week we were there. And I thought, she's pretty cool, I'd like to hang out with her. So when I saw her in the street in the second week, I was like, let's have coffee. So we lined that up. And on the second last day of project, when all of the outreach for the students was over, we met up and we had coffee and we had a chat. And I had just been assuming that she was just this Christian lady who went to the local church. But as I shared my story and what we were doing, that kind of thing, she asked me if I could share with her how she could know Jesus, how could she come into relationship with him. And I was just a bit flabbergasted, but like playing it cool. But just, yeah, I can share that with you, totally. So I shared the gospel, and we talked about some questions that she had. And right there in the cafe, she asked Jesus to come into her life. And it was almost like she had just been waiting to come home and just waiting for someone to show her the way. It really touches my heart that not only had God lined this up just for her, that she had wanted to know him, and he'd lined up some other young woman to come down and to be at her church and to have coffee and to share the gospel, but that also that he would have her waiting for me, that I could be part of his mission, even though I felt so incapable.